see. I've never used this thing, so there we go. Good. All right. Well, usually I do music, but I'm a little bit more under the weather than usual, so I'm just gonna do 2 poems. They are not originals. I do write my own poetry, which sometimes I do perform, mostly on Thursdays. Come on a Thursday, I hope. Yeah. But I'm going to read 2 poems by a woman named Tanya Davis. She is a goddess. She is amazing. Look her up. She's really great. Sorry. That's okay. Okay, so this first one is called Subtlety. And for those of you who know me personally, which I think probably only a few of you in here know me on that kind of level, but I tend to be a pretty like open book. I tend to be really passionate, and it's hard for me to hide how I feel, even though I try. It doesn't get me anywhere. So this poem, I just felt really strongly. And again, it's called Subtlety. Subtlety was never my specialty, and so without much thought to consequence, I showed my heart and soul to many. I left little guessing. I was that book lying open, in full view, unprotected. Some people told me I should close it up, at least choose more carefully which pages to show. Maybe don't expose so much. Apparently, there is an appropriate amount of sharing, and I overdo it. People are only comfortable up to a certain point, and yet I go right through it. Well, maybe I missed the training that day when they went over closed book and open book and how much was too much information. Or else I was there, but the lesson must have lost me, because I thought its elements were slightly off, and how could they possibly be the same for us all? These days, I'm trying to find a fine balance with this. Give people a view of my sincere self while keeping some things concealed within, because I was told that I should. And I'm curious to see what it might get me, and I'm hoping that it could be something good, like improved defenses, or a heart less tormented. Because if I didn't let as many people in to begin with, I would be less likely to be injured when they left it. If I could be more subtle, no one would know when I was broken. As it stands right now, though, I tend to break right open. Spill out over coffee shop tables, try not to be noticed by the other patrons. Because people don't like to see random strangers crying, it makes them anxious. If I could be more subtle, I wouldn't make anybody anxious. I wouldn't make them order their coffees to take away because they were afraid if they got them to stay, I would ask to borrow their hankies. No, I would be normal, meaning discreet, and this would be sort of amazing. But subtlety wasn't ever my specialty, and maybe it's going to be hard to suddenly start changing, holding people away, knowing when to keep them out and when to bring them close and how to differentiate. Anyway, I want people to know me. This means the whole me, the true soul and all the many parts of me, the fragile and the tortured and the happy human heart in me. And so subtlety is just never going to be my specialty. All right, I have one more also by Tanya Davis, because I've just been on a kick of hers. And it's called Ravish Your Lover While You Still Love Her. And it says, this poem is for my lovers who were once the suns in my skies. I am sorry that I never ravished you enough and that there is nothing to be done about the passing of time. Many relationships end. It's an unfortunate thing, but anyway, so. Remember your lovers. But especially don't forget them while they are in your bedroom with their hair disheveled and their clothes strewn. Notice them as they stand before you. As they there lie, tell them that you're touched 1,000 times. Of every inch, take a picture with your unabashed eye, because this will change. As pictures fade, so does love die. Smell your lovers, their wide open skin like bare shoulders before toast in the morning. Pheromones will be what you don't know that you miss. When you're standing beside exes feeling suddenly nostalgic, could be soap, could be freshly washed clothes. Most likely it's a mix of hidden chemicals. The silent scent that perfumers will never get, but you will remember it long after love goes. So hold your lovers close. As you are drifting off, sharing oxygen and Oxycontin both, Oxytocin, whatever. waves of their necks, the crooks of their wrists, the way their breathing rises and falls. Knees get cuddled only in one kind of spot, and they will miss this once the spoon is gone. Like you will miss the puzzle when you don't get to be a part. And so while you are with your limbs entangled in ways that warm your heart, remember to notice it, so that the last night doesn't go by without you noticing. And only in the sunshine do you know these things, when you pine for one more chance to lay with your loved one when night is falling. This is a plea, mostly for me, so I may remember next time I am to be a puzzle piece. Also, it is for my lovers I have held and known, who have been my comforts, as well as my abrasions. I remember the days our skin was first waking, and the love we made like we were scorched earth and it was raining.
Thank you, Erica. Cheers for Erica. I think we're going to have